So guys, tune into the show. Don't miss it because it's going to be an amazing show. You are going to be touched. You're going to be amazed. You're going to be excited. It's Thursday, 11 o'clock on a Thursday. The Message Talk Show with Alex Gordon. Yes, don't miss it. So guys, tune into the show. Don't miss it because it's going to be an amazing show. You are going to be touched. You're going to be amazed. You're going to be excited. It's Thursday, 11 o'clock on a Thursday. The Message Talk Show with Alex Gordon. Yes, don't miss it. So guys, that day is that Thursday. What happens on a Thursday? Despite all the challenges, what happens on a Thursday is the Message Talk Show with Alex Gordon, your host. Today we've got a special guest coming in, and he's got a few flight problems at the moment, just flying into the studio. So while we wait for him to come in, I'm just going to say thank you for tuning in today. Call your friends, call your enemies, call the worst people you have around you, man. Just get a cup of coffee, get a cup of tea. Get something in your hand and tune into the Message Talk Show. Because this is your host, Alex Gordon, tuning in once again on a Thursday. Despite the challenges that we're facing today, despite the 12, 16 months of lockdown, you know, we still have to give thanks. Still have to give thanks for just being here. Give thanks for just being around, because despite the challenges, man, people have died. People have got, you know, so many distraught things have happened throughout these 16 months. But you're here. I'm here. So we've got to make the best of times. We've got to make this the best of times, even though it may feel like the worst of times. So what have you been up to? What have you been doing? Today we're talking about helping men. Yes, that's a big topic, a massive topic. I've been getting opinions already about this show, about we're helping men. But today we're helping men. So tune in to the Message Talk Show. So where you're coming in from? Were you coming in from Australia? You're coming from the States? You're coming from the UK? Manchester? Leicester? Wherever you're coming from, Birmingham, wherever you're coming from, just jump into the show and let's have a great time and a good time today on the Message Talk Show. And you know, sometimes despite the challenges, we still have to hang in there. Don't we have to hang in?
Absolutely. Good morning. Good morning to you, Alex. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
I'm so happy I was able to get in. We had a few challenges, but I made it in.
Right. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to ask you to do for me, just turn your camera around, turn your phone around the other way. Just turn it portrait. Yeah.
Turn it the other way.
Yeah. At the moment, it's vertical. So your phone is vertical as if you're on Instagram. Yeah. If you turn right, brilliant. Hey, see, the phone knows how to resize itself. The phone knows how to resize itself.
That is perfect.
It has resized itself into a format that we like. So how are you today, sir?
Oh, I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic. I'm happy to be here. It's early 6 a.m. over here in the U.S. So I got an early start.
I know. Man, you're the third person that I had from the States, sir. And when they tell me the time difference, I'm like, oh my God, that means that they're going to wake up so early in the morning.
You know what? We want to provide value to people, so we don't mind getting up early. If we can motivate and inspire others, Hey, I'm here. 5, 6 a.m. doesn't matter to me.
So you don't mind what time it is. You don't mind.
No,
You get up at
I
5
don't
o'clock in
mind.
the morning to do what you've got to do. Yes?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a military
That's
man
what
too.
I
We
mind.
like to get up early.
Hey, well, that's great because when you get up early, it means that your mind is kind of centered on the day. Nothing's
Yes.
disturbing you. This
Yes,
is
sir.
before any other activity starts. Am I right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm excited to get started and be of value and service to all your viewers.
Yeah. Well, man, I'm excited myself. I'm pumped this morning, man, because wow, we've waited for a long time to get you on the show. we've waited a long time to get you on the show, so, but you know what it's like sometimes. Things don't happen before the time, but we have to keep pushing. So,
Absolutely.
guys, friends out there, I need you to subscribe to the Message Talk Show. There's the link there in front of you. Go to the messagetalkshow.com and subscribe. Get a reminder for when we go live, and call your friends, call your best friends, call your enemies. And I was saying this to myself just now, Baron, despite the last 16 months of turmoil, we've been through some tough times in the UK. What has it
Absolutely.
been like in America still? What has it been like for you guys over there with the pandemic?
Yeah, so the pandemic over here, it's been a very trying time, and mainly because of politics, okay? The US, we are really in bad shape when it comes to political agendas. So that being the case, people over here in the States, the elected officials, a lot of them don't get along. So there has been a lot of arguing, a lot of back and forth, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, get a COVID shot, don't get a COVID shot. It's been a lot of chaos over here. Even today, the cases are going back up. It has just really been a trying time over here in the States. It has.
Wow, man. I would say about politicians that it's the same across the whole world.
Yeah,
They don't get on
interesting.
they don't. Wherever people are involved, they don't get on. It's
Yeah,
people
that's
for
true.
you.
It's people.
People are
That's
in the
right.
mix. So
That's right.
people can sometimes be great. People can sometimes be terrible. People can sometimes be awful. It's the
Yeah,
same people that you're dealing with
it's
all the
the
time,
same
man.
people.
So not because we elect them that they do become different. Not because that we put them in position. They've got the same stereotypes. They've got the same attitude. They've got the same issues. We've all
That's
got
so
the same
true.
issues. We've
That is
all got the
so
same
true.
issues as human beings. But I think
Absolutely.
sometimes we expect more from others than we expect from ourselves.
That's true. That's
And so
true.
the
So that,
expectation is so high that the human
yeah,
effort finds it difficult to step up to that ladder, so to speak. It's
absolutely.
too much.
It's too much.
So
but we're
what the
but we're
politicians
pushing
should be
through.
saying, it's too much. I can't represent you guys. It's too much. I can't do it. I can't do it.
That's right.
No. But no,
Yeah,
what they
but
say,
you
yes, I can do this, man. It's going to be a doddle. And I think
absolutely, absolutely,
once he
and
gets
that and
into the
that's what
office,
guys like me come in. That I try to find those few good men, if you will. I
yes,
try to identify who are the good men around because it's going to take the good men to push this world forward. So like you said, your heart has to be in the right place first before you become a politician, before you decide to become a father, before you decide to be a pillar to your society. In order to do those things, you got to have a heart check. And you got to live a life of integrity first. So that's what I'm looking for. Where are the strong men of integrity?
wow. So let's jump in then, Baron. So, Baron, just tell me, who are you, Baron? Just tell my audience who you are. Who do you serve? And what kind of got you here? What kind of got you to this
Absolutely.
point, this passage of your life?
You know what? I have to be honest with you. Every time I do an interview and I get those type of questions, I love it because I love telling my story, Alex. So my name is Baron Warren. I'm an international, actually, motivational speaker. I have traveled all across the United States and abroad. I was actually in the UK a few years back speaking at a juvenile facility, and that was my first time in the UK. But I'm a motivational speaker. And I have a tagline, and that tagline says, I want to help males grow to be strong men of integrity. Again, I want to help males grow to be strong men of integrity. So it doesn't matter if it's a prison system, a school, or a restaurant. If I can find a group of males, I want to speak to them. I want to inspire them. I want to coach them to be better fathers, better brothers, because I believe that good, strong men of integrity is what it's going to take to move this world forward and to make the world a better place. So that's what I do every day, twice on Sunday.
Wow, wow, wow. So Byron, what kind of got you to this point, Byron? What kind of got you so focused on helping men?
Yeah, you know what? So my journey began when I joined the military. Yeah, I graduated school over here, and I ended up joining the military when I was about 19 years old. And I tell you, that was one of the best things that happened to me in my life. I got a chance to see some other good, strong men. Okay, I was raised in a very poverty-stricken area. A lot of my friends was going to prison. A lot of them was using drugs and alcohol. But when I joined the military, I learned how to be a good man of integrity. I learned how to be honest. I learned how to groom myself better. I learned how to treat women better. So I served 8 years in the United States Navy, got a college degree, got educated, and built my relationship with God. And, I made a decision. I said, I want to go back to my community. I want to go back home and serve the males there because everybody can't join the military. But maybe I can
Wow.
go back and be a service and impact to those men. And that's what I did. I went back and I started working in the prison system. And then I decided, hey, maybe I should take my message on the road. I started volunteering, speaking at schools and prisons. And for the past 4 years, I have been traveling, speaking, and coaching males full time every single day. And I love being of service to males in need.
Did you say the past 40 years? Did I hear 40 years?
No, 4. I'm sorry, 4.
I was
I'm going for 40 years. Yes, that's the goal. 40 years.
I was just about to say, Baron, you're not old enough, man. You're not old enough to be 40 years, but 4 years. That's wonderful. Now, I found this clip and I thought I love this clip and I thought I must play this clip on the show. So let's just take in one of your clips. You're gonna love this yourself. All right.
Okay.
Let's just show you this.
The day before or the year before. You have an opportunity right now today to choose to be a man. You have to make education a priority and become a lifelong learner. You were designed to be a pillar to your society. You have to ask yourself, am I a male or am I a man? Am I an honest man or am I a con man? Be delighted to treat women with respect. Delight yourself in responsibility. My name is Baron Norman. I'm a national motivational speaker and best-selling author. Join me every Friday for tips, tools, and training on how to be a better man, a better father, a better son to your mother. Join me every Friday for 5 minutes to manhood.
Wow.
Wow.
That
That video
gives me
says, join
chills.
me on a Friday. What happens on a Friday, Byron?
Absolutely. So every Friday, I run a series called 5 Minutes to Manhood. And it's just a short video clip of me speaking, giving some tools and tips on how to be a better man. I see other people running programs, maybe 40 and 50 minutes long. I wanted to give some short videos on how to be a better man. So every Friday, you might see a video from me on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, me giving just some quick tips that's going to take me 5 minutes to help you cross the finish line into manhood.
Yeah, because that's the topic we're talking about today, how to cross that finishing line. What is it what is it that made you think of that in terms of the whole thing about crossing the finishing line? Because when I think about finishing line, I'm thinking about something's ending, something's finishing at the moment.
Yeah.
But when you talk about finish line, you're not talking about something finishing, are you?
Yeah.
Something ending, are you?
Not at all. So and that's a good point you brought up. It's two terms I bring up. I say crossing the finish line, or I might use the term graduating into manhood. And let me tell you why. Because I believe that, being a male, MALE, that's something that we were given. That's kind of like our biology. But you have to graduate into becoming a man. You have to earn the right to becoming a man, or you have to run the race to manhood and cross that finish line. So I want males to understand that. I really want them to have the concept of, hey, I was born a male. That's my biology. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything special to be a male. But if I want to be called a man, I have to do some specific things in order to earn that title. I have to be respectful. I have to respect the authority figure. I have to educate my mind. I have to be nice to women and children. I have to say please and thank you. And if I do those simple things, I can cross the finish line and graduate into manhood.
Wow. You said those simple things. the things that have been challenging men for years, for their lifetime. You said those simple things as if they are just all simple things to do. When you're dealing with human nature and the human mindset, it's sometimes very difficult just to do what you're supposed to be doing all the time. Am I correct?
Oh, that's so well said. And you know what? If I can give your viewers a little secret here, because you're right. Initially, when you're making that transition from malehood to manhood, it's not so simple, especially if you're not accustomed to doing those things. But I'm living proof. The more you practice those things, it becomes more simpler. For example, it's very easy for me to respect women and children at this stage of my life. It's very easy for me to be a good father. It's very easy for me to get up and groom myself every day. But it wasn't always easy. Somebody had to show me. I had to put those things into practice. So that being said, for your viewers out there, being educated, being healthy, being well-groomed, respecting authorities, that might be a challenge for you right now. But keep putting it into practice. I guarantee you it'll get easier over time.
Wow. It will get easier over time. So let me just delve in there then. So what is it? When does a young man cross into, when does a boy become a man then? What does that look like?
Oh,
that step into
so
manhood.
Good.
What is that all about?
Yeah. And I want your viewers to hear my heart on this. If you notice, I have never said anything about your age. I didn't say you become a man at 18 or 21 or when you get your driver's license. No. My philosophy is you become a man when you choose to become a man, when you make a conscious decision that you're going to live a life of integrity. Now, there's different seasons of our life. Of course, a 13-year-old man is not going to be doing the same things as a 50-year-old man. But living a life of integrity is my belief. That's when you cross into manhood. So again, for your viewers, it is really possible for you to be a 13-year-old man. What does that look like? A 13-year-old man is doing his homework, is taking out the trash, is obeying his parents, is priding himself on education. He's a man in my book. Or if I flip that philosophy around, you could be a 40-year-old boy. What does a 40-year-old boy look like? 40-year-old boy who's irresponsible, who's breaking the law, who's doing inappropriate things, who's mean to women and children. You're not a man. You're just a 40-year-old boy. So that being the case, I want any male to understand you have the power very early to choose to be a man and graduate into manhood if you do those things. No age is off limits.
Yeah, but when you say you have the power,
Yeah.
What does that power look like? You said you have the power. What does that power look like?
Yeah, that power looks like, we have to be very careful with that, because some people may think power means I'm running my own business, I'm a big strong man, or I can lift 400 pounds, I'm exercising, I can lift 400 pounds in the gym. Power simply looks like getting up in the morning, looking in the mirror, and saying to myself, hey, my community needs me. My mother and my father needs me to be responsible. Hey, I'm a father. I have 2 children. They need me to be responsible. You know what? Starting today, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to respect the authority figure. I'm going to tap into my potential. And I'm going to go out and move my family and community forward. That's what that power looks like. And I want the viewers to understand, you don't need to go to college to do that. You don't need to start a business to do that. You can do that right now just by looking in the mirror and making that conscious decision.
You don't need to go to college. You don't need a degree. You don't need to run a business to make those decisions for yourself. But it's a conscious decision that you have to make.
Yeah.
Why sometimes are young men not making the right decisions then?
Oh, now we really get into what I like to call the meat and potatoes. This is some heavy talk right here. Young men, even older men, they're very impressionable. It's a lot going on in the world. You see the music, you see a lot of wrong examples in the media, and I would imagine it would become very overwhelming. People are dealing with personal issues. Maybe they didn't have a father figure in their life and they didn't have someone to mimic. So, it's not a lot of good examples on what it really means to be a man of integrity. That's a big problem right there. So a lot of males, they mimic what they see on TV, in the home. If they're raised by a single mother, no man is around. So, they're drawn to those inappropriate things, and that could put them on a journey and a cycle to making poor decisions. This is why people like Baron Warren, yourself, and a few others, we are on the front lines to be those role models, to be those examples for those males to mimic. It's interesting. I'm 36 years old, and I'll go inside the prison system, and I'll meet men 40, 50, 60 years old who just really don't know what it means to be a man. And I'm happy they can see a Baron Warren so they can have somebody to mimic or somebody else. So if there's a man out there watching today, I want to challenge him to identify some males in need. I guarantee you it's a male in need in your community who needs to know what a man of integrity looks like. Find him and take him on the journey to manhood.
Wow. I've got a clip that I want to play because
yes, sir.
It's talking about some issues that's going on at the moment, especially in the last 16 months among men. And when I heard this clip, I thought, you know what? I think I'll play this clip. You'll love this clip when you hear this. This is by a coach called David Bayer. So let me just get this on. Can you hear me clearly?
Absolutely. Hear you loud and clearly.
There's no breaking at all. No. Okay. Wonderful.
No.
All right. So let me just get this. Let me just get this synced in.
By the partners, they feel emasculated, they feel like they're not doing enough, they feel like they're not good enough. And what we've also been taught is to not share how we feel. And so what we do is we stuff these feelings down deep inside. And there's a tremendous amount of sadness that then comes out sideways as anger, pain, frustration, abuse. And I'm not making excuses for anyone. It's just important for all of us to understand what's going on. Men are responsible for 90% of violent crimes. Men commit 7% of suicide. And the reason is because we have an entire generation of men who are in pain. And the way that we can address this is twofold. Number one, men, you need to start realizing that this myth that we've been sold about not being able to share how we feel is just that. It's a myth. And that as soon as you start opening up to other men about how you're feeling, you start unlocking these patterns and providing an opportunity for freedom for yourself. And women, most importantly, you can understand how to support men more effectively. To know that when men are frustrated and men are angry, what they're really experiencing is a tremendous amount of pain. And to be able to say, listen, sweetheart, I know you're in pain. I just want to be here to support you. I want to let you know that you're good enough. I want to let you know that you're doing enough. And from that place, begin a dialogue of healing. So if you understand, if you care about.
Wow.
So there's a conversation there that's going on that says men are suffering from overwhelm.
Yeah.
Men are suffering from not feeling that they're good enough.
Yeah.
That they're worthy, that they're worth enough. There's something happening there, and especially in the last 16 months, it's escalated, but we're not quite dealing with it. What do you think?
Yeah, wow, that clip, almost got me emotional a little bit because I deal with so many males, teenagers all the way up to adults. I can't speak for the rest of the world, but I know here in the United States, there is no celebration going on for men, especially Black men. There's no parade or no big celebration going on for young Black men and older Black men. So I say that to say, Black men in America is really starting off behind the ball, if you will. A lot of them are raised in a single home. A lot of them are raised in a poverty-stricken area. And a lot of them just don't have a strong male role model in their life. So when they grow up, a lot of issues happen. A lot of daddy issues, a lot of personal issues. And then they grow up to be grown adult males with a lot of personal baggage. And they have a lot of things going on inside of them. Yeah.
Personal baggage does not discriminate against whether you're Black or white or green or blue or whether you're Asian or whatever color you are. Men carry personal baggage regardless of who they are, where they come from. And so there's issues. When there's issues to be dealt with among a group, a generation, a race.
Yeah.
Don't you think it needs all men to take their gloves off and say, right, let's get stuck in.
Yeah.
Let's get stuck in as a man. Let's get stuck in as a man and say, right, what's wrong? How can we help? What can we do? It's going to take all of us, regardless of the color.
I agree. I definitely agree. And like that clip that you played said, we have to be honest. We have to be honest and say, hey, I have some issues going on, and find somebody who you can speak with. Hopefully it's somebody that can identify with your situation and get those feelings out. Now, I want to be very careful about something to your viewers, and I'm very firm about this. There's a big difference. There's a big difference between crying, shedding some tears, getting your feelings out, and being a cry baby. There's a big difference. Again, I want to say this for your viewers. There's a difference between crying and being a cry baby. So somebody might say, Baron, what do you mean by that? So crying is just what that clip said, getting those feelings out, talking to someone, seeing a therapist, seeing a counselor, seeing a coach, getting those things out. That's crying, so you can move forward, so you can get through and have a healthier lifestyle. Being a cry baby is a big difference. That looks like, hey, I'm never going to get a job, not good enough. I'm going to go out and get drunk and high every day. I'm not going to be a good father because my father wasn't there. And just not being responsible and accountable for your life. That's what being a crybaby is. So when I speak to males making that transition, I want to be firm about that. The world doesn't need you to be a crybaby. The world doesn't need you to not take responsibility and accountability for your life. It's okay to cry. It's okay to get some help. It's okay to get a counselor or a coach or a friend to have a healthier lifestyle. So you let them tears out. You get that pain out, but you also wipe those tears and you move forward and be good men and good fathers to the community and your family.
Wow. But you see, what I found, and amongst men, there's guys at the bottom, there's guys in the middle, and there's guys at the top.
Mm.
And even some of the guys that we look up to and think they have it all made, they've got it going on, they haven't. What we're looking at is a facade. What we're looking at is we're looking at a mask. A mask that's reflecting something that we're not quite seeing what's going on in their minds, going in their heads. I remember a few years back, an organization I was working with, and this man, he was a high flyer. He was a high flyer, getting things done, and everything looked right. Earned fantastic salary. There was nothing in his life that you think he could want when you saw him from the outside. And do you know that guy went home one weekend and committed suicide?
Oh, wow. So
and
sad.
The wife could not understand what went wrong, what went wrong in his head, that he thought the only way out was to take his life. Now, we have men at different facets of that throughout our society, going through this kind of overwhelm, going through this kind of challenge in their heads and in their minds. And not being able to push it out, not being able to talk about it, not being able. What would you suggest that if you're going through these kind of challenges as a guy?
Yeah.
What would you suggest you do?
Yeah. Your clip mentioned that 70% of the suicide deals with men, and I was shocked by that number as well. So to answer your question. The old saying goes, iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
Iron sharpens iron. So I say men have to go get men. Alex, men have to go get men. So
say that again, yeah. And say it slower, because we have a society in which women think they can go and get men. Say that again for me. Say it again.
Absolutely. I want all you viewers to hear my heart on this. Iron sharpens iron, which means men have to go get men. Men have to go get other men. Men have to surround themselves with other strong men. Men have to surround themselves with men of high integrity. Hardworking men need to be around other men. Healthy, educated male men need to be around other men. So we have to take this journey as a group. We have to identify those males in need and pull them along. Hey, Alex, I'm 36 years old. I'm growing. I still feel young, and I understand that there's a lot of males in need up under me. Just yesterday, I was coaching 40 young boys at a school. Yesterday, 40. Okay, 40. Because I understand that a lot of those young boys, they don't have a male figure in their life. I even asked them, is dad in the home? Over half of them raised their hand. I don't have a father figure in my life. So I understand that. So every day I want to wake up and identify those males in need, because men have to go get other men. So that being the case, no exception for Baron Warren either. There are some males older than me in my life that I look for good counsel, that I go have those conversations with, that we might go to a baseball game and just sit and have guy talk. Yeah, we have to have guy talk, because if we don't, we'll be in trouble. So again, iron sharpen iron. Men have to go get other men to be successful.
Wow. And there's Winsome's just said we need more positive black role models. Well done.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Duncan.
The need is great. the need is great.
Absolutely.
The demand is great, but is the supply there at all? How? Well, let me ask you this other question then. Why do you think we need this type of coaching then? Because your coaching is specific now. You're going after the heart of men.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think we need this right now?
Yeah.
More than any other time. More than any other time we've been through. Why do you think we need it now?
Such a great question, and I'm happy you asked it, Alex. This is my belief, my opinion. Men is the foundation of the family. You know how when you build a house, you can't build a sturdy house unless it has a good foundation, something to put the weight on, okay? And I believe good men are the foundation for the family. So in order for the world, the community, the household to be successful, it needs a good, sturdy, strong foundation. And that's the importance of being a man. So if we have a lot of shaky foundations out there, it's going to mean it's going to be a lot of shaky homes, a lot of shaky communities, a lot of shaky politics, and the world is just going to be a very chaotic place. So to answer your question, why is this need important? I like that word need, which means it is mandatory. It is mandatory for males to make that transition to manhood so the family can be secure, safe, and the family can be led to greatness. I'm tired of seeing, and I hope I don't offend none of your viewers, I'm tired of seeing women lead in the family. That's such a hard task for women. No. It needs to be the man. Lead in that family, taking that family by the hand, lead them to greatness. So that word need, males need to make the transition to manhood in order for our families and communities to be better. It's mandatory.
Wow. So let me ask this other one then. So what are the special skills you need to do this type of coaching and this type of work? You need to be a man, yeah?
That's right. Here's my belief. That's such a funny question. People say, Barry, wow, you do such a great job. You know, you traveling the world, you going into schools and prisons, you're seeing a lot of cool people doing some great things. And I'm so grateful that God has put this type of calling on my life. But guess what? I want all your viewers to know this. You don't have to be a motivational speaker to be an impact, to make an impact. There's a little boy right down the street from your house. I guarantee it. There's a young man or older man in your neighborhood, at your community center, at your church, at your school, who needs to know what a man of integrity looks like. So that being the case, you don't have to get on an airplane and fly across the country to be of impact. You can walk right into your school, right into your workplace, well-groomed, clean-shaved, clothes looking nice, respecting people. That's going to make an impact, because here's what's going to happen. They're going to say, wow, every time I see Barron, he's well-groomed, he's respectful. Every time I see Mr. Alex, he's speaking intelligently. He's opening the door for women. Every time I see him, he has something positive to say. You know what? I want to be like him. I want to mimic that. And I guarantee you that's going to make an impact in your community. So that's something every single man can do. You don't have to get on the airplane to do that. You can leave out your house and go right into your place and do it today. Yeah.
I was gonna pick on a point there, because when you talk about grooming, and we all have different definitions now of what grooming looks like. You know, it's changed now. You know, there was a time when it was the clean cut look. Yeah. The clean cut, well marked look. But hey, when you look around you now, that's kind of changed now. You know, because the fashion and styles are different for this generation.
Absolutely. So, you know, if somebody was to say, well, Barron, what's your definition of being well-groomed? I'm going to say clean and neat. Clean and neat. Whatever that looks like, just do it clean and neat. Yeah. Start there.
Just do it. Okay, so can other men help you on this mission, Barron?
Absolutely. You know, Barron, it's hard for Barron to be a one-man show. I did not get in this business to be a one-man show. No, I want to show other males how to be men so they can show other males how to be men, and so on and so forth. Here's a good way to start. This a plug here. Get my book, The 5 Steps to Manhood. That's how you can help me.
Hey, put the book up. Put the book up. Get the book, Barron. Get the book. Get the book. You got it by the side. Yes, you got it there. Hold it there. Let me just take a picture there. Let me. Oh, Barron, man, you knocked us off this. Barry, hey, it's so difficult when you do more than one thing at a time. He just knocked himself off. But hey, we have a note here from Winsome that says, tears are healing. Tears are healing. And so men need to cry. Jackie said that's a great explanation, Baron. She's happy. She thanks you for that. Winsome come back and said, men are crying shows his strength. Yes, men crying show his strength. That's amazing. And what was... Hey, this one. Let me hear what Jackie says here. Why don't men want to speak about their issues? Hey, Baron needs to come back and answer this one. Why do men don't want to speak about their issues? Is it that men actually talking? You know, Baron, we got a question. Come out at you. Baron, no, hold it, Baron. The power was so much coming from the book, Baron, that it just knocked you. It knocked you off the scene. It just knocked you off the scene. Let me just take a screenshot of this now. Let me just take a screenshot of this. You know, my viewers out there, I don't know if you're watching, just grab your phone and take a screenshot of this right now and send it to me, guys. Just grab a screenshot of this right now and send it to me. Send it to me. I think it's a brilliant shot there of Baron's book. Yes, grab a screenshot and just send it to me, guys. Grab a screenshot. 5 steps to manhood. And so these are the steps that you were talking about earlier, Baron.
Absolutely. So if any of the viewers would like to know those simple 5 steps, what I believe every male must do to make that transition from malehood to manhood, the first step, we talked about it, you have to choose to be a man. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is you have to discover your calling. Discover what you was designed to do for your life. Step number 3 is you have to be a lifelong learner. Step number 4 is you have to delight yourself in responsibility. And step number 5, my favorite step, is you have to help another male become a man. If you do those 5 things, I guarantee you, your life will be maximized. Your potential will be maximized, and all the males around you will be better. Try those 5 things. I guarantee you it'll be a blessing to your life.
Wow. So where can the book be found, Baron?
Absolutely, on Amazon. You know, if you got an Amazon account, click on there, type in Baron Warren, it'll get to you. They're pretty fast too.
Wonderful. So Jackie's throwing a question at you, Baron. Why don't men want to speak about their issues?
Yeah, you know, great question, Jackie. You know, men suffer from this thing called the male ego, myself included. You know, it's just, and maybe it's a cultural thing, but you know, men just always feel funny about talking about personal issues. You know, we have this philosophy of, hey, I can take it, I can handle it. I don't need to talk to anyone about it. I'm gonna just push through. For all the males that are watching, making that transition to manhood, it's a
that's common among all men. Am I right? Am I correct in saying
that? Absolutely. You know, good, bad, right, black, white, doesn't matter. You know, we wanna keep it all in. But like that clip you played earlier, it's healthy to get it out. You got to get it out. You know, everybody's way of getting it out could be different. It might be exercise, and it might be talking to someone. But you got to find out what works for you so you can get those issues out, so you can be a healthier man. Very important to get it out.
Wow. Now, Winsome saying, when was the last time you cried?
Oh, that's
the last time you cried.
That's a great question, Mr. I want to say I shedded a few tears maybe about a week ago. I had a very intimate moment with my daughter. I took her out to dinner. She's 17 years old, and she asked me a question. She said, "Dad, you know, why did you take me out on this nice dinner and got me a nice dress? And you know, you always do things so big and grand. Why did you do this? It's not a special day. It's not a holiday." And I began to shed a tear, and I told her, I said, when I was growing up, I didn't have a father figure. My dad never called me and said, Baron, how are you doing today? Do you need anything? I love you. I just wanted to call and check up on you. So I made a commitment to myself. I'm not going to be that type of father when I have children. When I have children, I'm going to be the best dad possible. So my two beautiful daughters, I'm always checking up on them. I'm always thinking about them. I'm always pouring into them. But when I explained that to my daughter, I shedded a few tears because I still deal with that pain of not having a father figure. But the good news is, like I told your viewers earlier, I wiped those tears and I used that pain for something powerful, which is me being a better father. So, Miss Duncan, I shedded a few tears yesterday or last week, but I wiped those tears and made a commitment. Hey, I'm going to be the best father possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask that because you must find it very difficult with the amount of time you're committing to running workshops, running coaching sessions, being out there speaking to groups all across the country.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, you've got a family of your own that
Yes.
you need to be there. You need to be present for them.
Yeah.
How do you juggle your time doing that?
That's such a great question. Very important too, because not just Baron Warren, a lot of good men out there get caught up in their careers, and that can take a lot of time away. I do my very best to put first things first. I get up in the morning, I spend some time with God, and step number 2 every day after I spend my alone time praying and things like that, I go straight to the family. That's the second thing on my list. What do my family need? That's my first assignment before I walk out the house. Where's my family? Where's my daughters? Are they healthy? Do we have enough money in the house? Are they safe? And then I move it along. So I make my children, I'm a single guy and I'm a single dad. I make my children a priority. They're not number 4, number 5 on the list. They are a priority in life. So I challenge all the men out there, as you take this journey, as you move ahead, make your family your number 1 priority. And I guarantee you'll be successful doing that.
Wow. So time's upon us. I want to ask you this one question. What's the big vision, Baron? You're driving this, you're moving, you're even during the last time I spoke to you, you were during the middle of the pandemic. You wanted to fly out of America to go do some work down in the Caribbean. Did that happen? Did that take place at all?
So the answer to that question is yes and no. I went down to Jamaica. I went down to Jamaica and I went down to Puerto Rico.
Wow.
So I wasn't able to get in any schools or any prisons because, of the pandemic. But here's the good news. I got a chance to meet some very good males in need. And I was able to give them some copies of my book. I was able to talk to them. We're talking about the locals, not at a school, not at a prison, just the locals in Puerto Rico and in Jamaica. And I still communicate with those males today. So that's my point, Alex. You don't have to. It's not always going to be this grand show of me speaking at a this big large event. Sometimes it's the guy down the street. Sometimes it's like that. So I'm happy I was able to go down there, and it was kind of a vacation for myself. But I was able to pour into some males in need in Puerto Rico and Jamaica. It was awesome.
Wow. I think Winsome had said, "Come back, Baron, come back. Where are you?" That's when the power of your book knocked you off the screen, but you're back now. And then she came back and said, "I sent you a screenshot." But here's a question that Jackie's raised about: is it possible to get some funding to run workshops in our schools, college, or targeting community groups, faith groups, etc., especially churches where the men.
Yeah.
We need to raise we can't just put this burden on 1 or 2 men or 3 men or 4 men or 5 men. There must be men across the world that we need to connect with now and say, guys, what are you doing to meet these issues? And how can we help?
Absolutely.
And connect across the world now.
Absolutely.
Remove the barriers, remove the barriers, the faith barriers, the things that divide us, and find the central theme that connects us and say, right, Let's just make this happen across the world.
Yeah, I agree with that, and that's such a great question, too, Miss Brown. Yeah, so it's unfortunately, when I go around speaking and coaching and doing these workshops, a lot of the schools and prisons don't see the value in what we're trying to do. So that being the case, oh man, I have to work very hard to get them to fund these type of things. But I tell you what, the more and more I do it, I'm causing a sense of awareness. I want other males to join me in this effort of pouring into other males. So I'm learning, if we continue to push these issues forwards about males getting in touch with their feelings so they can be healthier, I'm confident that more schools and colleges and community centers will start funding these type of events, because it's so important, Ms. Brown. Very important.
What are you saying? We have to raise the awareness. We have to go out there
Yeah,
and raise the
yeah,
awareness and make it known.
absolutely. Because
Champion
the money is out
cause.
there. Yeah, the money is out there, and these people will pay for things they see
Man,
are valuable.
money's never an issue. Money
Yeah.
is never an issue, because during the pandemic, before the pandemic, in Great Britain, we were talking about austerity. Yeah, we were talking about cutbacks and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
During the pandemic, I saw money got spent left, right, and center, and nobody was worrying about where it came from.
That's
yeah?
right. That's right.
They saw the need and they spent the money. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and worry about it later. So the money's not an issue. The money's not an issue.
It's the
It's
awareness.
we found.
Yeah, absolutely. We gotta make sure that the world is aware how important it is for males to cross the finish line in the manhood. Why is it important? Because men are going to lead the family. Men are going to lead the community. So we need them to be strong, healthy, and living a life of integrity for them to do that.
Right. So Winsome has come back and she said, "Tears should be the title of your next book."
Wipe those tears. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, we don't.
She come back and said, "Tears should be the title of your next book."
I like that. I might write that down in my notes. Thank you, Miss Duncan. That's awesome.
Well, Jackie came back and said, "Yes, Alex Gordon, yes." And then she said, "It'll be good to do some research as discussion has been necessary." So, so glad she listened. Now, I had a psychologist on the show about a month ago, Dr. Martin Gling. And this guy, he's a researcher. He talks research and facts all the time. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where his heart's at. And he's been working in the system as well, helping what they call it, post
Part of depression.
No, post incarceration education.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's what he was doing. He was calling it post incarceration education.
Oh,
and
I
think
it.
We need to connect up we need to connect up guys like this across the world,
Absolutely.
across the country, that are doing things like this that can help to because they've already done the research. There's work's been done.
Yes, absolutely.
We just don't know about it. We just don't know about it.
That's right.
And because we don't know about it, we can't use it.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. Those guys need to be put out on the front lines.
Yeah, if we pull out the information, we can use it to help us to push the cause forward. I
agree.
I think that is so important. That is so important.
So
we need
important.
to know mediums to connect up. All right.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to connect you. I'm going to connect you with Dr. Martin Gling. Great guy.
Please do.
I love his work. He's an amazing guy. He's an amazing scholar. And he has men at the heart of what he does.
I would love to connect with him.
Of doing research to find out how to connect with young men, how to connect with men who are this disposition. What do you say? How do you say it? He even talked about, he called something called data verbalization. And what he did, he took his academic research and turned it into rap.
Oh my goodness.
Because he said
a lot of attention.
Yeah, because he said that the information's there inside the institutions and nobody's going to read it. So let me get it out into the marketplace in a way that the ordinary boy and girl can hear it and understand what's being said. I thought that was amazing. I thought that was amazing.
That is
Wow,
brilliant. I love it.
that's brilliant. So, Baron, coming out of lockdown now. We're in the UK. We're coming out. I don't know if you've completely come out in America. Yeah, you come out of lockdown yet? No.
Yes, we have, but the cases are going back up. So the rumor is we might be going back. The cases are going back up. So yeah,
all right.
Pretty tough.
So virtual is going to be the theme for the next 12 months. We're going to be doing a lot more virtual things. Yeah. So
yes,
have you got any things planned that people can tap into next 6 to 12 months, 18 months?
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, folks. You know, it's been heavy on my heart to do more YouTube lives, more Facebook live. So be looking out for me on social media a lot more. Please go to my Facebook page, Baron Warren, or my website, baronwarren.com, or you can go to my business site, which is cutsandcoaching.com. I do a lot of coaching on that site as well. But to answer your question, I'm going to be live more often than not virtually until this pandemic is over. If I got to do it virtually, we're going to do it virtually because there is some males out there who need to cross the finish line of the manhood, and I want to be of service to them.
Wow, that you know, just a conversation as simple as this can have so much effect on people's lives.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We underestimate when you talked about the power earlier. We underestimate the power that we have, but we all have elements of power in our hands.
Yeah.
Cause a small amount of change.
Absolutely, Alex. And it's very important that the viewers understand, honestly, it only takes a few good men. Again, wow. I went and coached 40 young males yesterday by myself, Alex, 40. And I'm confident those 40 young males is going to make a strong impact in the world. So if I go coach 40 and Alex go coach 40 and wow. John go coach 40, wow. You know, we got 120 males crossing the finish line, and it only took 3. It only took 3 males to help 120. So we just need, Alex, a few good men, just a few, to help move us forward.
A few good men.
A few good men. That's all we need.
You know, you should have bought the domain, afewgoodmen.com. Push out the domain and got guys to sign up. Got guys to sign up this minute. Go in and put the email address in and say, right, I'm ready. I am volunteering X amount of time over the next 6 to 12 months.
I might have to think about that one.
afewgoodmen.com.
A few good men. That's it. That is it. We only need a few. That's it.
All it takes, a few good men. You know, I thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Alex, it's been such a pleasure, sir.
Be here. All right, I had Jackie come back and said yes. Yes. Amen.
Thank you, Miss Jackie.
Strategism planning. Yes, she's agreeing. I bet if you go and ask her to find some men, she'll go and find a few as well.
Hey, Alex,
she'll go and find a few good men for you as well, you know?
I believe that, Alex. I want us, and I know we will, I want us to stay in contact because I want to come to the UK and do a workshop for some males over there. We got to work this out. I don't know when it's going to be feasible, but I can't wait. I've only been to the UK once, and I'm excited to go back and because I want to be of service and I want to stay there maybe for
Go on. Hello? Yeah, go.
Alex, you there?
Yeah. No, just repeat that what you just said just now. You know, it was so powerful that it blew out the airwaves. It blew out the airwaves, man. Every time you do something great, it blows out the airwaves. It doesn't want the communication to come across. You know, say that again for us.
That happens sometimes, Alex. I want you and the viewers to know that I'm excited about coming back to the UK one day. I want to do a coaching situation over there. I want to come maybe at a restaurant, maybe at a coffee shop, and just meet the men over there in the UK, put a book in their hand and coach them and help them cross the finish line. So I want the viewers to know, hey, I'm coming back to the UK as soon as we can work things out, work out the logistics, and I want to pour into the males over there. So keep me in your prayers so we can work that out.
Wow, man. No, there's enough guys that we can connect, because it's amazing with this kind of platform that I've been doing over the past 18 months. The amount of men I've connected with along the same kind of vibe, you know. Some are from faith, some are not from faith, but they all want to connect to do something massive. And the key word that was being said was legacy. And that came out from Dr. Martin Glynn initially about legacy. What are we leaving behind?
Yes.
What are we leaving behind? What are we leaving for the next generation? And we have to focus on that. What are we leaving behind now? And we have realized that it's not just the things that we've been focusing on, the money, the material things. That's not it. Our community is still bleeding, regardless of that.
Yeah. Alex, so, if I can leave a quote, it's not my quote. This is one of my favorite authors, Dr. Miles Monroe. He said, "Success without a successor is failure."
Yes.
Success without a successor is failure. So that's essentially what you're talking about, leaving that legacy. We have to identify who we're going to leave our legacy with. So it's not beneficial if Baron Warren just be successful and I die and go on. No, I have to identify as many males as possible so that legacy can live on, because success without a successor is failure. Males, identify your successors so you can leave that powerful legacy.
Success without a successor is failure. And Jackie has come back and said, amen. Amen. Jackie's come back and said, amen. So let me put your contact details back up on the screen. And there's your email address as well. Jackie, drop Baron an email. You've been connecting the whole time. You want to know, you want to make connection, you want to build something. Jackie, drop her an email to Baron at baronwarren.com. Yes?
Absolutely.
Make a connection. These days,
I love to hear from you, Jackie.
These days, there are no barriers to communication now. Yeah, there are no barriers to communication.
No barriers.
You know,
around the world.
Hey man, 10,000 miles, 20,000 miles is nothing.
It's nothing,
because we're one computer chip away from causing a change.
That's right.
We're one computer chip from causing a change. All we need are the volunteers and willing hearts.
Yes, sir.
Willing men.
Yes, sir.
Willing people, ready to say, right, I'm ready. I'll do it. What do you want me to do? I'll do this. What do you want me to do? I'll do this.
Absolutely.
And that's it. So I'm going to give you the last word again. I thought you did the last word just then. You said success without a success. I'm going to give you one more last word before we go. One more last word, Baron, before we go.
Well, my last word would be this. First, I want to tell Alex and your whole platform, thank you for having me today. It was an honor. It was a pleasure. And for every single male out there that may be watching, I want you to do me a big favor. Get up, go look in the mirror, and make the conscious decision to live a life of integrity. Choose to be honest. Choose to be respectful. Choose to be well-groomed. Choose to say please and thank you. Choose to respect the authority figure. Choose to be a strong man of integrity. I guarantee you it'll be a blessing to your family and community.
All right, so I'll put the Facebook page back up, because you do a live coaching every week, yes?
Yes, every Friday.
Coaching, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Every Friday,
yes, sir.
Okay.
Every Friday.
So every Friday, guys, you can go and tune into Baron live coaching, 5-10 minutes?
5 minutes. 5 minutes to manhood.
5 minutes, see? So you can take 5 minutes out of your time to go and listen to Baron, and it's probably... because it's British time, it's probably in the afternoon for us, yes?
Absolutely.
It's in the afternoon, so it's not taking us out of our bed. It's not getting us out of bed like you had to wake up this morning just to tune in to the Message Talk Show. Guys, I thank you for tuning in today. Oh, my sponsor is getting at me. Let me just... You are listening to the Message Talk Show and podcast. Do you believe you have something to share? Do you believe you have something to contribute? Do you have a story
to tell the world, to share with your community. Gandhi said, man often becomes what he believes himself to be. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So join us on the Message Talk Show and podcast with host Alex Gordon.
Guys, I just want to thank you for tuning in today. It's been an awesome time with Baron Warren, all the way from the States, talking about helping men cross the finish line. And he's made some commitments to come to the UK. He's made some commitments to connect, to do something. Go to his Cuts and Coaching on Facebook every Friday for 5 minutes. He runs Cuts and Coaching. I thank you for tuning in, and watch out for our next week's show. You are going to be blown away, guys. You're going to be blown away of our guest next week. So tune into the Message Talk Show as I say goodbye to you all. Miss the show. You got to be on this show.